I think sometimes we get tired. Our dreams just start to, we get a little older and like, you know what, I just want to sit down for a while. But that digging deeper, I wrote that because I was getting these ridiculous water bills and I wanted a well to take care of the lawn and the property. And I hired this well company to come out, and I didn't know that if they don't strike water, you still have to pay them. So they came out, they dug the well, and it didn't hit water. And I said, okay, send me the bill, pay the bill. But they got another light bill, but water bill was ridiculous. I said, come back, try it again. He said, okay, we think water's gonna be right here. I said, you think? So they tried digging there a little more. No, nothing happened. Got another bill. I said, forget it, I'm never doing that again. I'm out. Got another bill a couple of months later. It was ridiculous again. I said, okay. Drill where, he said, here, is that where you're going next? Drill there and don't stop until you hit water.
Wow.
So he started drilling, and he got so deep, he said, we've never been this deep before, and we don't think we're gonna hit it. I said, keep going. You're gonna find some water up under here.
I ain't gonna pay you till you
and
find water.
I'm paying you. And I got so frustrated, I was ready to give up, and I said, just go a little bit deeper. And 4 inches from,
Wow.
4 more inches, they found an underwater spring that is still running all the property to this day.
Wow.
So that's what I mean by digging deeper in your life, that there are times when you've just got to go deeper. Just when you're invested in something and you feel that strongly this is what God has for you, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's as second nature to you as breathing is.
Wow.
When you know, it's like nobody tells you to breathe. So this gift, this thing is in you, and nobody has to tell you or encourage you about it, even though you have to encourage yourself. It's always there. My favorite thing about the mantra of the studio is a place where even dreams believe. Because there was a time when Joseph, right?
Yeah.
Was in everything was falling apart in his life.
Sure.
And the dream had to believe for him. So I believe that there are moments where your dream will come through other people and encourage you. Hey, have you ever thought about that? Or you're riding down the street. I was pulling out a studio the other day, and I was just, a little overwhelmed, everything. And there's this big, huge graffiti sign on a train. Says, trust God, pray. I'm like, okay, yeah. So digging deeper means just don't stop until you get it.
And sometimes you might be that 4 inches away from what you're believing for.
That's right, that's right.
Does everybody have a dream? Does everyone have the potential for that kind of thing? Do you believe everyone has that?
I believe so. I do. I truly believe that. I think everybody has a dream. And sometimes the dreams are just, they may be small to some, but huge to them. I think everybody has it. And I think society and life and circumstances will beat it out of you, smother it, and take all the oxygen out of it and make you believe that you can't.
Yeah.
And it takes a strong person with a strong will and a strong knowledge of who they are, of understanding being worthy and understanding what God says about you to keep going to make that happen.
What do you want somebody to walk away with after reading your book?
Just to know, because a lot of these stories are deeply personal, just to know that if I went through this and I made it to a higher level, even though I feel like there's higher for me to go, if I made it, you can too. What is your higher? What is your higher in your life? What is the next step in love and finances and family and friendships and whatever? What is that for you? Whatever that is for you, reach for that. Pray for that, strive for that, fast for that, ask God for that. Don't stop pushing until you get to that. That's what I want people walking away with, that kind of encouragement.
Beautiful.
That's so good, Tyler. I love what you said too about digging deeper, because it's easy to get, the start is exciting, the finish is thrilling, but it's that middle.
That middle, man, that middle.
That middle, man. I've learned this though, God is working behind the scenes when we don't see it. And sometimes God's working the most when nothing is happening. And that's what faith is all about. Because you think, well, Joel, I'm praying, I'm believing, I've been doing this for a month or a year or 10 years. But you got to know that as long as you're, being your best, honoring God, doing what you can, God is working behind the scenes. And, with Joseph, that was 13 years. God gave him the dream. And imagine if you got thrown into a pit by your family and got falsely accused and got put in prison. Yet the whole time it said Joseph had favor wherever he went.
Yes.
And you never read in the scripture where Joseph had a bad attitude. And I would like to think that but being thrown in a pit and all that stuff, but
I would have had a bad attitude.
Medea would have really been mad. But I think that just knowing that, okay, you know what? I may not understand, God, what you're doing, but I trust you. See, I've learned God will not mismanage your life.
right.
You may not understand it, but you know, sometimes I like to think about it says the steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. Well, God doesn't necessarily take you in a straight line, or it would be easy. So imagine stepping stones. If I'm trying to get, 100 feet in front of me, the stepping stones at some point may curve around and go the other way, because they're going to curve back around. And you're on one of those stepping stones, you could say, God, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
I promise you I'm supposed to go that way. But you got to say, okay, God, but I know there's going to be a U-turn somewhere. I'm going to trust you when I don't see anything happening. But behind the scenes, you got to know, God is working in my life right now. He's arranging the right people, the right breaks, solutions to problems. And, sometimes we talk about, in our messages too, that God can make things happen suddenly. Well, the suddenlies are a culmination of all that time you believed. You didn't see anything happening, and then, suddenly the studio opens up, or suddenly, you meet the right person. Suddenly something happens. But I just encourage you, and you said it beautifully, you keep believing, you keep doing the right thing when the wrong thing's happening, and at the right time. Promotion doesn't come from people, promotion comes from God.
That's right.
He'll open the right door. So